Welcome to Those Flipping Guys. If you're here for the first time, you might have a question. What are these sessions all about? Real estate. Being taught by those flipping guys, two experts that are in the business and successful at it. You will have an opportunity to not only engage, but get involved and talk to them. Even if you have questions, hold the questions to the end and then bring them out and you'll get your questions asked. This is why we love doing these webinars, because it's interactive. We get to meet you, you get to meet us, everything comes together. The first step is total immersion. It's a lot easier when you go to a seminar or workshop in the live setting. However, now that you're in a webinar, there's a bit of a disconnect. If you want to feel the change and experience the growth, you must get involved. Turn off your phone notification and find a place where you can be alone for the next 30 to 45 minutes. And remember to always take notes, because 80% retention comes from an action. The more you put into learning, the more you will get out. Time to interact and ask questions. Members get priority, however, we encourage for everyone to get involved. We prefer people that want to go live, so if you have a question and you want to go live, all you have to do is put the word live in your Q&A box below and we'll set you up on the queue. If you're not comfortable going on screen, you can go on audio only and ask the question. This is an interactive webinar where we'll have Q&As, networking opportunities. Just make sure to get involved. And for those of you that have noticed the record button up above, it's not that we're recording you. We're recording the session for those that want to come back, especially the members, to see pre-recorded sessions. If you're going to be in a place where you can watch your smartphone or your computer, you can always call in and listen to the session. Without further ado, let me introduce to you two good friends, business partners, and real estate experts, Gene and Angelo, those flipping guys.
Somebody makes $25,000. Is that a bad deal?
This is Gene.
I'm glad we put it for the higher price.
This is Angelo. They have been flipping homes since 2001 and have flipped over 3,000 properties. They buy houses for cash.
All done, baby.
No scripts here, no setup scenes, just real guys making real deals.
We're nice guys.
No matter what your ultimate lifestyle looks like, you have to find a way to fund
Who
it.
wants to make some moolah?
So if you're ready to earn money, balance your life, and live your dreams, meet those flipping guys.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another webinar with those flipping guys. The main topic for today is how to choose the right property. So I would like to start with, let's talk about location. I'm talking about, like, are there jobs? Are there schools? Is the marketing declining and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, in life, guys, you guys have heard it all before. By the way, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. I don't know if you guys know Bert Oliva, but he is a master motivational speaker. He's gone around the world motivating people. He's worked with the best in the business, and this guy is tremendous. So definitely make sure you connect with Bert Oliva, with Boa World. Just tremendous guy, tremendous company, and you'll get tremendous messages. So thank you very much. Definitely.
I want to run. I feel like I could run through a wall after that intro. I want to go run through a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing the boat when I haven't engaged before and I haven't immersed myself.
Right. Good job, Bert.
So those are great tips, Bert. Thank you. Thank you very much. But anyway, listen, you've always heard it. I mean, the number one thing in real estate is location. You want to buy a property in an up-and-coming neighborhood or where, Madison Avenue in New York. I mean, that's just AAA rated properties, okay? It's location. When you're buying a property, you have to look at multiple factors on why you're buying the property. If you're buying it to fix it and sell it, what are the comps in the area? Is there a good school district that you're in? Is it coveted? Right now, the people talk about buying properties close to Starbucks, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods. Like, those seem to be better neighborhoods. Is it in the path of progress? Is it close to a highway? Just so many different factors in buying the property. Is it expanding? Is it declining? I mean, are you buying property and the main factory is going out of business or went out of business? I mean, it's crazy. We live in South Florida, and so South Florida in general is always booming, but South Florida especially always seems to be expanding. I mean, it's a hub to Latin America. I mean, we've got people coming in from Israel and Russia and South America and all around the world to buy and maintain properties. I think people from all around the country like to buy properties in South Florida. So we don't really experience the big main factory in town shutting down. But there's many towns out there that do have that kind of structure. I remember up in the satellite coast up in Florida by Melbourne, there was NASA went out of business. You know what I mean? They shut down NASA, and all of a sudden other industries came in. So that town is booming again because there was a glut of people with, smart people and engineers. So it came back, but there was a time there where it was scary. It was a scary time to buy. I remember Angela and I bought a property in a little town by the Cape Canaveral. We bought an apartment building in Titusville, and man, that was a scary time. But we ended up selling it, and the guy that bought it from us did a great job. So location is super practical. Are you close to highways? Are you on a highway? I mean, being on a highway is not a good thing.
Yeah,
being on a little bit of the street can be though.
We get a lot of opportunities for really cheap properties, and it's funny because cheap isn't always great. If you can buy a property for $15,000 and there's no jobs out there and there's no one to pay rent, then I mean, what are you doing? So that's why location is always the number one in our book.
Well, our next question is, what is the condition? Know your repair costs. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking for a property and you don't know the repair costs, you are up a creek without a paddle. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You're going to either make a dumb offer that's way too low that someone's never going to take, or worse, you're going to pay way too much and lose money. So you need to know what these repair costs are so you can make educated decisions on what you're going to offer and what's a deal and what's not a deal. So knowing your repair costs is probably one of the number one things that set apart the experts from the people that are just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to know, what does a heating and air conditioning system cost? Can you put a used one in? Can you put a new one in? What does it cost to install a kitchen? What does it cost to install a roof? Is it a shingle roof? Is it a barrel tile roof? Is it a metal roof? What are you going to do? What's it cost to repair drywall? So many people are scared to death of when there's holes in the drywall. We love houses with holes in the drywall, all right, because it scares off the amateurs. We love homes that need roofs because it scares off the amateurs. We're okay with maybe a fire damaged property because people don't necessarily know what it takes to put those things back together. So, but if you know what it costs for the materials and you know what it costs for the installation, then you can factor in a good budget, always put a little bit of a buffer no matter what, subtract that from the repair value, from the after repair value, minus your renovation costs, minus your profit, minus your carry, and that'll tell you what you can pay for a property.
And what is your expertise? Like, can you add a bedroom and a bathroom and kill the deal, or you just a paint and carpet person?
Yeah. So one of the things that you got to do is you got to know your expertise. So, when you're looking at a property, when you're looking at properties and all you want to do is, maybe paint it, put some carpet in it, just freshen it up a little, then you're going to have to pay a little more. But if you're savvy and you're looking at a nice 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, we were looking at one today, and a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, maybe worth 100, maybe worth 110. But Gene, if we add a bedroom and a bath to that house, what do you think it's worth?
Oh yeah, a bedroom and a bathroom in South Florida will easily get you $100,000 more just in a very basic neighborhood. So you buy a house for $150,000. That's only a 2-1. You spend $40,000 or $50,000 on an addition, but now that $150,000 house has a 2-1. Maybe it was worth $200, and now you have a house that's worth $300. It may have taken a little bit longer, but man, you just doubled your money. You put a $50,000 investment, and you end up getting $100,000 in return. That's a sweet deal. Now, guys, also remember, you don't make money by making pretty houses prettier. Okay? You got to make beat-up houses pretty. That's how you make money in this business.
Another good question is, what kind of capital are you working with?
Yeah, people need to, you can't go in and buy a $500,000 house that needs $200,000 in repairs that's worth $1 million if you only got $50,000 sitting in the bank. You know what I mean? You need to know what your budget is, what you can handle. There's great deals out there, but if you have hard money on them and you got to carry a $400,000 house and it goes on for 6 or 7 months, you know, and it's costing you, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 a month just to carry that property, is there going to be money left over? So, you know, you need to know what kind of money you're working with so you can invest properly.
Yeah, because people have a misconception, right? They think that just selling $1 million homes will make them rich. But, you know, what's the difference? You can make a lot of money doing smaller properties.
Yeah. We like properties that have double exit strategies. It's not so much, you can't do it so much down here in South Florida anymore, but we love properties that have double exit strategies. That means that, you know, we love to buy them, fix them up and sell them and get a lump sum profit. That's great. That's the buy, fix, sell method. But it's ideal if you could buy it, fix it up, and rent it also. So that way, if you can't sell the house fast enough or at your price that you want, at least you can hold on to it for a year as a rental property and it'll more than carry the mortgage that you have on the property.
And
Yeah, and with the really expensive properties, man, your only strategy is sell it. So if you have a property, you know, that's $750,000, it's worth $1 million, and your hard money payments on it every month $7,500. I mean, unless it's on the water and there's something super spectacular about it, I mean, the most you're going to rent that thing is for is like 5 G's a month, and you know, you end up losing money quick. And when you're losing 2 G's a month plus taxes plus insurance, I mean, you could spiral out of control real fast.
Yeah. To add to that, you know, if you're borrowing money at 12%, it's costing you 12% to have that money out, or 15%. If your market isn't going up 12 or 15% every month, every day that you own that property, you're dipping into your potential profit. Okay. And there's very few markets out there that are appreciating, you know, above like a 5 or 6%, you know, appreciation right now.
Do you need a deal with terms?
Yeah, you know, a nice way to do this business, if you're not working with a lot of money, is you either buy the deal based upon price or you buy the deal based upon terms. So in other words, if you have to come out cash, close quick, and buy a house that's, you know, pretty beat up, you want to get it for the absolute best price that you can, right? Because you have a lot more risk. You got your money, you got to move quick, and the house is beat up. So you gotta get the property at the right price. However, if there's a seller out there and they're willing to fix up the property, or we're willing to give you cheaper financing on the property or cheap financing on the property, well, you could pay a little bit more because you have a little bit less risk. You don't have to put all your money that's in your bank account into the deal. You don't have to pay hard money, and you just have to maybe pay, you know, your mortgage to the seller, and hopefully they'll give you a lot lower interest rate also.
And can you get financing, regular financing? Like this works for a clean property that you're looking for to hold.
Yeah, absolutely. Another way to buy a property, if you're not paying cash, if you're not using hard money, and you can use bank financing to buy the property. However, you have to keep in mind that if you're buying a property with bank financing, it's got to have a good roof. It's got to have no termites. It's got to have good electrical. It's got to have good windows. It's got to have heating, you know, central air conditioning. It has to have appliances, or the bank won't finance it. So, you know, you're probably going to be paying close to a retail value on that property. But that's okay, because if you're going for cash flow, not trying to flip the property, if you're going for cash flow, you can get regular bank financing because you're looking for return on investment. Okay. And you may have to put down 10%, but if you're 10%, you're buying a property that's $100,000 and you have to put $10,000 out of pocket to buy the property. Okay. And the property is renting for $1,500 a month after expenses. Maybe you're bringing in $1,200 a month after expenses, but your payment on a $90,000 loan with today's interest rate is maybe like $500 or $600. So you're cash flowing, you know, $400 or $500. Let's even go call it $300 a month. But you're paying $300 a month. You're getting $300 a month cash flow on a $10,000 investment, a cash on cash investment. I wish I had that in a little bit of a chart. That would probably help people a little bit more. But just suffice it to say, if you buy a property with regular bank financing, you put down $10,000, and at the end of every month, you're making $300 a month in cash flow or profit. You know, you make $3,600 a year. You make 36% return on your cash-on-cash investment, and that is sweet. So yeah, using bank financing can be great, but the houses definitely have to be cleaner, and you probably won't buy it with as much equity. But that's okay, because you're getting killer cash flow on it, and it's the only investment strategy in the world that I know of where you put down 10%, the bank lends you 90%, and a third party pays off your mortgage in the next 10 or 15 years.
And do you need an exit strategy? That's really our final question. You know, when it comes to something like this, do you need an exit strategy?
Well, yeah, I mean, when we go into these properties, they have to have multiple exit strategies, and some of the exit strategies are one, wholesale. Are you going to wholesale the property? Is that what you're buying it for, to wholesale it? Are you getting it cheap enough to sell it to another investor who's then going to fix and flip it or fix and hold it? That's one exit strategy. Another exit strategy is buy, fix, sell, where you buy it, you fix it, you sell it. And then the other exit strategy is, are you just going to hold it? Buy, fix, hold. And I mean, we've gotten into depth on all three of these topics, and we can get into depth as far as you want. But those all three are the exit strategies we look for when we're buying a property.
Yeah, and in fact, we even have a quasi flip strategy where we buy the property, we paint it up very little, mow the lawn, and throw it back on the market, or even just turn around and sell it as is, which is kind of like a cross between wholesaling and fixing. And that's another strategy that we do also. Another strategy is, you know, instead of selling the property to an end user, is we turn around and we sell it turnkey rental property to an end user, to an end investor that doesn't really have the time to do all the work. So there's a lot of different exit strategies out there. And going in, you know, you try to have as many of those. Hey, it works this way, it works that way, it works this way. That way you have a lot of safety mechanisms in place in case, you know, you get stuck in the deal.
Well, as a new investor, and you're going out there and you're looking at these exit strategies that you guys just, you know, commented on, do you become an expert of a certain exit strategy, or do you, when you walk in a property, you actually look and say, okay, this is going to fall into this bracket?
Listen, when you have multiple ways to skin the cat, I mean, you've got more opportunity, and that's why we look at this the way we look at it. I mean, we don't just look at it one way; we look at it 20 ways, and that's why we make money. I mean, you got to be creative in this business, you know. And if you're going to spend your day analyzing a property, going out to see it, I mean, Gina and I don't like going to see a property unless we are going to make money on it. You know, we don't need to do this for free. We've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of properties. We don't need any more practice. So having a multiple, ways to get rid of the property or exit strategies, it's part of being a professional. You have to have it.
Well,
Yeah,
talking
can I
to you
give a-
guys, go ahead.
Can I give a case study really quick?
Yes.
All right, so the other day we bought a property. Like one of the guys in the office, George, was tracking this property. We had it under contract for months. The seller was in and out of the hospital. Couldn't sell it. Finally, we finally close on the property, right? We spent $170,000 on the property, and this property fixed up is worth probably $260,000, right? But the neighborhood that it was in, it was a really popular, fast-moving neighborhood, right? So once we looked at it, we figured, wow, we need to probably invest about $40,000 to $45,000 renovating the property. Plus, we were going to start carrying the property, and closing costs was to the tune of about $15,000. So that's $55,000 in expenses. And then when we sell the property, we're going to have to pay 3% plus some more closing costs, because we're realtors, so we can list the property for free, but we have to pay the selling agent. So there was going to be another, we sold it for $260,000, another $10,000. So it's going to cost about $65,000 we were going to have into this property, with expenses, with carrying costs, hard money, commissions, right? So therefore, if we sold the property, you back off the $65,000 out of the $260,000 or $270,000 we were going to sell it for. let's say that we were into it. We would have made the difference between $195,000 and our $170,000 that we were paying for the property, that we paid for the property. So at the end, after renovating it and carrying it for several months, we would have ended up making a $25,000 profit. But the property wasn't so banged up that it really needed a total renovation, even though we felt we would have to do a total renovation if we wanted to sell it. So we said, you know what, let's just try and throw this property on the MLS, the multiple listing system, and try and find a cash buyer really quick. So we put it on the MLS for $220,000. We got a cash buyer within the first week, okay? And we're closing on it in the next couple days. So we had to pay a real estate commission on that property. We had to pay closing and carry costs on that property, right? To the tune of about, closing costs were about $10,000 when we purchased it. And we had to pay real estate commissions on the 220. So that's called, another $7,000, right? So we spend about $20,000, might be a little bit more than $20,000 in expenses to buy the property. But we ended up making more money on it. We made $30,000 on the property, but we did it in a month versus 4 to 5 months that it would have taken us to renovate it, sell it, and wait for an end user to buy it. So our time value of money was tremendous. I mean, and that was just a simple strategy. We didn't do anything to that property except clean it out.
You know, you also mentioned that you guys don't actually go out to every single property that comes in. I know you've been doing this for a long time, but for a new investor, what are some of the things they should be looking at besides just taking a drive every time they get an opportunity or something pops up?
They got to vet the property. You vet the property before you leave your office. You need to know what everything costs around it. Is it a deal? Like I said, we're not going to look at properties for fun. It is not what we're looking to do. So the property needs to be vetted. You need to know what the comps are. You need to know what other things are selling for in the neighborhood. And when we know that we have a willing seller, that we could buy the property for a certain number and it fits our criteria, then we haul butt over there and we check it out.
Yeah. Another thing too is that these other wholesalers, they lie so doggone much. And I don't even think they mean to, but they'll tell you the property is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a garage. It ends up being, yeah, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but the second bathroom is illegal and the third bedroom is in the garage, you know? So you have to make sure that it really is what you think it is, what you're being told it is. They'll tell you it's worth this much money. Yeah, well, it's worth, you know, $250,000 as a 3-2 with a garage, but as a 2-1 with a garage, you know, it's only worth, you know, $120,000. You know, so don't leave your desk until you know for a fact that there's an opportunity. That one, it's everything you think it is. Okay, you're only going to the property to make sure that it's really there. It's in the city that you believe it is, and to make sure that you can actually get the deal. If you can buy it for this much money, that the seller is going to sell it to you. If not, I mean, it's good. It's good experience. You get to live the town. You get to know the neighborhood. There's some positives about going out there, but at the end of the day, if you're going out there to make money, you want to be able to buy that property, and 90% of the work was already done at your desk, ideally.
And don't get fooled by the closet showers. There's a lot of closet showers.
Angela, what do you mean by closet showers?
Oh my gosh, when the people make a shower in the closet, I saw one yesterday. This is why it's fresh on my mind. It was literally a shower made in the linen closet, and the lady was proud. She's like, "Hey, it's a bathroom in there." I'm like, "No, it's a shower." And like, "No, I gotta enter the shower sideways. It's not a shower," you know. And it was just one of those.
Angela, remember that one house where the toilet was also in the shower?
Yeah, that's right. In the shower.
Well, you know, a couple of things I want to bring up. Number one, if you're watching this live on Facebook, this is not something that we normally do. We're doing this to give you a taste of what it is that we do every 2 weeks. And we have the flipping guys here and being able to ask questions. So if you're here live right now, which we happen to have a nice group, I'm about to share some information for the members, which is really important. And then right after that, we're going to have our final thoughts. But before that, if you have any questions that you want to go ahead and have them answer, and we want you to come on live. So if you're able to put in the Q&A button below live, then we'll know, and then we'll place you on the queue, and you can ask your question and even promote your business and what it is you do. So I'm going to go ahead and share something with you and then come back for our final thoughts.
We hope you enjoyed this webinar. Don't forget to log in or sign up for your membership to access the online membership center, where you can see all lesson replays, download the homework, RSVP for future sessions, and much more. You can even ask for help or request a topic to our members. Are you ready to get started? Log into our website and sign up.
We're going to have our final thoughts. However, there's a few that have asked questions, but they don't want to come out live. What are a few of the questions that we have there?
If I have the cash, do you recommend using cash to save on carry costs or spreading my capital out and using hard money to do several deals?
Okay, that's a great question. And it all depends upon who you are. If you have a full-time job, let's say you're a doctor and you make a lot of money being a doctor, okay? And you don't have a lot of time to do this business, right? And anytime you do this business, the time you're spending is a little bit of a distraction away from what you do. My recommendation is, and you have enough cash to buy a property, my recommendation is just to do one house at a time. Don't use hard money if you don't need to. However, if you're looking to do this business big time, or do it, on a more full-time basis, and you can handle doing 2, 3, or 4 projects at a time, and you have enough capital you don't necessarily have enough capital to buy them all cash, but you have enough capital for your down payments and your renovation costs, by all means, leverage with hard money. It's the way to go. If your average profit is $30,000 a deal when you pay cash, if you only make $20,000 a deal when you use hard money, but you can do 3 at a time versus 1 at a time, the way I see the math is you're making $60,000 for the same investment, maybe a little bit more work, a little bit more focus, but you're making $60,000 on the same investment that you were making $30,000 on. So definitely leverage if you have the time and energy and the deals. Definitely leverage. But if you're only going to plan to do 1 deal at a time and you're only looking to pepper your income, a certain amount of money every year, then definitely use your own cash by all means.
What are some permit nightmares?
They're all nightmares when you have to deal with permits.
Yeah. Well, all right. So how do I say this delicately? The permitting process really is not that bad. When it gets bad is when you get caught doing something without a permit. And, that's why when you're doing windows and you're doing roofs and you're doing real visible stuff outside of the property, you got to do permits. Hey, I'm supposed to tell you to pull a permit to put a ceiling fan in, but does everybody do that? Probably not. So the permit process itself really isn't that big of a deal. It's just whenever you get hit, and then the fees are double, and we've been hit once, and it was well documented on one of the episodes that we did, and we got through it, and it was fine, and we did everything the right way, which saved our butt. But we had to pay double fines, and it was I dealt with the lady personally, and it was like I was in elementary school again, and I was sent to the principal's office again, and Mr. Price was about to, rest his soul, he's passed away, was about to paddle me again. I got paddled a lot in elementary school. It's the same feeling. It's the same exact feeling. But this time,
Ange, how old are you? You got paddled? Gosh, I don't do that anymore.
Man. I deserved it. No, but the reality is, man, it's necessary on the big things. Don't get caught doing it, not doing it,
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, maybe it costs you an extra month of time to get it all done. But it's worth it, and you're proud when you do it, and there's no questions. Did you do it with a permit? Yeah, I did everything with a permit. Everything's done properly. So yeah, the recommendation is definitely do everything with a permit: toilet, hot water heater, windows, doors, kitchens, electrical stuff, everything inside and out. Totally recommend it. But it is going to cost you an extra month or so at least to push everything through. And you might need to hire a contractor because they won't necessarily do it owner builder, so it costs you extra money also. So hopefully you're buying the deals right enough to where you can factor in contractors, licensed subcontractors, and the time it takes to do everything properly.
All right. Well, I want to thank both of you for your time and being able to do these lessons are great. But before we leave, can you give us some closing thoughts?
My favorite things to tell people is just get started, guys. Get started. This isn't rocket science. If you want to do this business, it's a tremendous lifestyle. You don't have to run out and quit your job right away. Just find a property, connect with a wholesaler, connect with a good realtor, get involved, start looking at deals, get your money together, get a partner if you have to, find a hard money guy, get your ducks in a row and buy a deal. And I recommend you get in the market of buy, fixing and selling deals to build your cash. Okay. But then again, I also say, buy and hold. So maybe you do a ratio, but use that cash, get your debt down, go on, take the money, go on a nice vacation, an extra $20,000, $30,000 a year, man, can pay off some serious debt, can put a kid through college. Get started, man. And if you need some help, we have a tremendous membership site that helps people. You go to thoseflippingguys.com and check on the membership section. We help people. We give invaluable information. We share, we're an open book. We share our experiences, our good experiences, our bad experiences, our nightmare stories. This is what we do. We love to help people. And man, we would love to help you, attain your goals and your dreams.
Angelo, any closing thoughts?
Man, don't talk about it. Be about it. Go do it. Action begets action. That's my closing statement. If you live an action-filled business life, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone that's joined us. I'm going to give you closing thoughts before we leave. However, make sure that you register, get involved. We're going to be doing live events eventually soon. Actually, we're planning on some of those things. So the more connected you are with those flipping guys, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, on email, on social media, whatever the case is, you can find these guys and get involved. The one thing about these guys is that they're actually in the business, they're doing the business, and you get to meet the stars, the celebrities, the people that are actually getting involved, not someone else. So the more you put into your business, the more successful you're going to be. So I want to thank them for being here. This is a live session.
Bert, can I add something?
Yes.
Listen, Angelo and I are very excited. We've been working on a tremendous training program, a mentorship program. We've been working on this for several years now, and we're finally ready to launch it. If you want to spend a week with us, get to know everything we could possibly teach you about our business in a week, and then be coached for the next 12 months, okay? And really learn the ins and outs of this business. Along with, we'll get you a website up, we'll get you a customer relations manager, an email campaign, we'll teach you how to do internet marketing, we'll teach you how to set your corporation up, we'll teach you asset protection, we'll teach you long-term structuring of retirement funds, how to buy, fix, and sell, how to wholesale, how to renovate, bring you to the stores and show you what things actually cost. We're going to go over HUD statements. We're going to teach you about insurance. We're going to teach you every little detail about this business, as well as coach you, set you with an accountability coach for the next year, be there for you to help evaluate your deals. If you're really looking to get started in this business and take it to the next level, and really, really sincere about doing it, we have a training class coming up in the first week of September. It's 4 days live down here. There's only going to be 4 or 5 people, but connect with us. And we'll evaluate you, and we'll give you an interview and see if it's really something that we can help you get to the next level. Okay.
Thank you,
there's
Gene.
a cost to it, and there's definitely an investment. But I tell you what, man, we're going to get you flying. You're going to come out in 30 days. You will be a real estate investor. You will go into the real estate investor clubs, and you'll have your slick shirts. You'll have your business cards. You'll have a website up. You'll have a database of buyers. You'll hopefully have gotten a couple deals under contract. We will teach you from soup to nuts. You'll be set up with hard money lenders, contractors, everything in your market. So get with us, and I promise you, man, this is like no other seminar, no other training situation that you've ever seen. It'll blow away any of the other people out there that tell you that they're going to teach how to flip houses. I guarantee it.
And also keep in mind, this is not just for the beginner. It's even intermediate and advanced. So the good thing is that they've been doing it for so long, they can help you no matter what level you're in. And in life, there's two types of people. People that play the game of life and people that sit on the sidelines. So do the latter. Get involved. Take action today. You know, if you like this and you saw it on Facebook, make sure you share it with other people that might benefit out of it, because maybe you're not in a position to do that today. But get involved and just take action and make things happen. So I want to thank you both. I want to go ahead and leave the last video, and I'll see everyone in the next 2 weeks.
I just want to come in here and thank you for being a part of this session, getting involved and participating. We love serving you. However, if you're not a member, I recommend that you sign up now. If you really want to learn, you really want to be part of a great coaching team, and you want to take your real estate game to the next level, you definitely have to become a member. One more thing, I want to make sure you log on to our website so you can watch our online reality show. Don't miss it. A lot of information, a lot of content, and it's really good stuff. I'll talk to you guys soon.